Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Chef Jay. Welcome to another episode of Cooking Chronicles. Today, I have my big brother, my old boss. He's a principal. He's a great dad, great husband. He's also an AKA a rapper. If you didn't know about it, we're going to put the link in there. But please welcome Chris Gadsden.
What's good, man?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm glad to be here.
All right, so as you see, you know, he's repping all Lincoln. We believe
All Lincoln,
over here.
That L. The L's up. L's up.
I'm a little jealous. That's where I graduated from. I'm a little jealous. He ain't give me no apparel today, but I'm gonna go by the school and get some.
Don't worry about it. Next episode, man. I got you. Thanksgiving, I got you.
All right, so today, Chris, we're gonna make curry chicken with sauteed broccoli, and we're gonna also make coconut rice.
Okay.
I add a little flair to it, all right? So the difference we're gonna do with the curry, some people make it differently, but we're gonna actually make curry sauce like almost like a cream sauce to go on top of the chicken. All right, so you ready to get started?
Yes, I am.
All right, cool.
Yes,
The first thing we want to start out is we want to start making the coconut rice.
Okay.
All right. So the key thing is I use jasmine rice. This is about like a cup of jasmine rice. So you can pour this into there.
All right.
All right. Well, go ahead, chef. Go ahead, chef.
Okay.
Oh yeah, some people like rinse their rice or boil their thing
Boil
first.
the water first.
Yeah. So I already rinsed it off though, and now we're gonna do. This is coconut milk with sweet coconut milk. So like what you make the pina colada mix, Coco Lopez they call it.
Yes.
So that's gonna make the sweetness for the coconut rice. So you're gonna pour all that into there.
Oh, okay, that's gonna be sweet.
Yeah. So here's the rule of thumb with jasmine rice. You have parboiled rice people use. You have jasmine rice. You have other types of rice too, and even brown rice. So this rice right here, jasmine rice is usually 1 cup of rice to 1.5 cup of liquid.
Okay.
But the thing about it is the Coco Lopez is so thick. I always give like an extra 1/4 cup of milk to it, just thin it out. All right. So we're gonna mix this up
for 2 cups.
Yeah. All right, so we have that going, and then we're gonna actually put some thyme to it.
Oh, you want to chop it up? You just throw it.
No, just throw it. Here, throw it in there, Chris. Let them know. Chef it up.
Just take a little piece and just take it off the branch. You just throw that thing in there. Okay.
We're gonna put a cap full of herb oil in there.
Oh.
You don't gotta really measure. You just give it a little pour.
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to guesstimate.
Okay, there you go. You used to be a math teacher?
No, social studies.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All right, so I have that in there, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of salt in here.
You got the fancy salt.
A little Himalayan pink salt. All right. All right. So Chris, I've known you for at least about before I started teaching. I met you. I used to sell dinners, and so through my friend Terry, and Chris used to always eat her food. She said,
"Well, no, eat your food." You know.
And that's how we became really cool. And next, he became one of my biggest clients, always supportive. And then he became my boss when I started teaching. So talking about education, Chris, what got you involved? What inspired you to become an educator?
Oh man, I just wanted to give back. In 1995, I was a part of AmeriCorps.
Okay.
And I just started helping children in need, and it just took off. I taught my first child how to read.
Wow.
And I said, this is the career, path that I need to go into. So
that's cool, man.
Really helping people.
That's cool. And you've helped so many kids over the years. All right, so just gonna go piggyback. So the reason I'm using plastic wrap is when you do plastic wrap, it creates steam and it makes it like a steamed rice. It's the same way if you get like in a rice cooker, the same texture of it. So I'm gonna put this on low back here.
Just a pot cover.
Yeah.
Just put that.
It's different. You know why it's different? Because the steam kind of, it creates this, as the steam rises, it expands the plastic wrap and it kind of circles the air better.
As opposed to just bubbling over.
Yeah.
Making
in a pot like this.
Okay, I got you.
All right, Chris, so next thing we're gonna work on is gonna start making the curry chicken.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna allow the anointing from my hands to touch the seasoning and let it touch the chicken.
Yes.
All right.
Bless it.
So we're gonna add this to the, we're gonna add half of that to the chicken.
What I'm gonna do?
Sprinkle it.
I'm gonna sprinkle it.
Yeah.
Spread it. I mean, should I just put my hand in it and just spread it around?
No. You gotta do half. Half of that gotta go.
Half of it?
Yes. Chris, don't be stingy. It's okay.
I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
We got more curry powder.
Because I need some more powder.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so I know you said that you started with AmeriCorps, but how did you get involved into teaching in the classroom?
Oh, the classroom? Well, after AmeriCorps, I enrolled at NJCU.
Okay.
I started working the college-bound, upward-bound program.
Okay.
And so while I was in college, I basically started substitute teaching along with the college-bound, upward-bound experience.
Okay.
And substituting, I worked at 24 School.
Okay.
And they saw that I was okay. So I became a teacher assistant. I moved over to PS number 12 School.
Okay.
Miss Annie Graham, God bless her, gave me my first opportunity to teach 3rd grade.
Wow.
And then from 2000 until now, I've just been educated. I arrived at your alma mater in 2011, Lincoln High School.
All right. Lincoln, Lincoln, woo, woo, Lions. That's like the Lincoln chant. You just break down anytime you at.
That's the chant. It breaks out anywhere you are. You're on a bus, you're at a game, you're just anywhere. People know Lincoln is definitely
At all ages.
All ages, because Lincoln alumni, like one thing I learned about Lincoln alumni are the best, the most vocal, the most active alumni base that's in Jersey City. So,
that's true.
So that's what I appreciate about Lincoln, and this is coming from a person who graduated from Snyder. So
we won't say nothing about that.
No, I graduated from Snyder, class of 1992, with a camera. But I just happened to be in the Lions Den. I've enjoyed it. I've loved it. God bless his soul. Dr. Epps gave me my first opportunity to be an administrator in 2011, and then 8 years later, I'm the principal at Lincoln High School.
Say that one more time.
I am the principal.
Let it be known.
At Lincoln High School.
Sometimes I want to go back. Say, bro, you hiring again, bro?
I'm about to. Shoot. Let that position open up. I'm just saying it. I don't know if I can interfere with human resources, but Josh, he'll definitely come back into Lincoln for real.
No, and I think the biggest part what I appreciate about you the most is no matter what position I've seen you in, no matter how hard the day was, you always been an excellent role model. And I think too, I look up to him, you know, as an adult and as a younger adult in education. All right, so speaking of just like with just being a male role model to so many people, how do you feel a male role model impacts education?
Well, I just think that, I mean, like, just take it, there's about 2% black male teachers are in education throughout the United States.
Wow.
Like 2%.
That's crazy.
Like you at Middlesex and me at Lincoln High School, like we're such a small minority. Wow. And just being in administration, just about like 0.5% of black males in administration positions all throughout this country. So I take it very seriously, and that level of consciousness, especially knowing that I am a black man and I am impacting lives like that. Like I am the first role model that people will see. I'm the uncle, I'm the father, I'm the person that's holding it down. And I've been holding it down inside of the community, in that same community where I teach, because I taught at 12 school, and then I just moved across the street. I did what some in Jersey City would consider a Dr. Wins.
Yes,
you know, Dr. Wins was your principal,
my principal,
when you were at Lincoln. So I take it very seriously because I know that I have a social and a civic responsibility for all children, but in particular, being that I'm a black man, I know that I'm just that important because there's so few. And I have to be that example to so many children. I'm not saying I have to be perfect, but I do have to just show that level of leadership around all the children that I've impacted.
And I think that's such a good point, because I think too, we're seeing that even I'm in a different, like the school district I'm in now is 58% white. Coming from a district where it was almost like 80% African American.
Time that you were there,
yeah, it's a very different culture. It's a culture shock. It's a difference, and I think too is I see where I'm needed, and I see where some things I don't always relate to. But I do think the black male role model is so important in a lot of schools, because even too, some people grew up without a dad. I didn't grow up without my dad.
Me too.
You know, so when you see the even stuff with teaching the kid how to use the bathroom, a man, you know, like little stuff like that. When you think about that, how to tie a tie,
relate, sex,
you know,
how to relate to women.
You don't have that conversation. You know, I had a conversation with one of my mentees not too long ago. We put some garlic oil in here too to shake it up. He said he had an issue with, his dad. So I said, have you ever met his dad before? He was like, no. I said, so who taught him how to be a man?
That's important.
And the key part about it was he come from a single parent. Not saying a woman cannot do that, because they've raised us. But it plays a role when you do have an active male role model in your life.
But there are, even though, I didn't have my birth father in my life, men in the community do rise up. Like,
that's true.
I had a stepfather who introduced me to my grandfather, who's really had a huge impact on my civic life. My grandfather, Hurley Fair, basically taught me about why we as black men and we as men in general just need to play an active role inside our community. So men are around. We just have to leverage that leadership because there are people who are willing to stand up and make sure that our young people are okay. Because it's not just black men who just have a problem with that. Because sometimes daughters need that male figure in their lives too.
That's so true.
So men are there. Sometimes you get this misconception that they're not. But there's enough men in the community where we can have an impact on the lives of our youth.
Speaking of that too, you have an organization. It's called the Royal Men Foundation, correct?
Yes.
All right. So how did you come up with that? Like, what caused you to really create the organization?
I didn't come up with it. A good brother, DeQuan Sweeney, he's the founder of the Royal Men Foundation, and founded in 2014. And so basically the premise is that men need to step up and know what our role is inside of our community.
On life, family, fatherhood, and self-development.
Teacher and an educator, what actually made you want to change the role from teacher in the classroom to an administrator?
Oh, yeah. In the classroom, as a social studies teacher, I had the opportunity to really impact minds, right? To really shape minds. And I did it on purpose, right?
Okay.
But then after a while, after about 11 years inside of the classroom, I started to understand that change or systematic change or the way that you want a school to run, because you can always complain about how you want it to be, but then it takes another level of leadership to make it happen.
That's true.
So I just said, well, it's about time. I was encouraged by other folks, whatever, saw leadership in me, to take leadership to the next level, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to stay inside of the same community in which I taught. So going across the street to Lincoln High School was just a...
and you kind of grew up with the kids, basically.
Well, sure enough, because most of the kids that came over from 12 school went to Lincoln High School, and those are my kids. So I was fortunate in my first year to actually have my graduating class move over with me.
Wow. And let me say, I videotaped that graduation speech that you gave.
Oh, it was a class of 15.
Man, I think I've never heard a greater commencement speech than that, because you not only told your background story, but you gave hope to so many kids, and you also pointed out a lot of kids who did have certain challenges and how they overcome.
Sure.
I think.
What happens when you realize your destiny and realize that nobody can hold you back? You just straight up reach out. My testimony is similar to a lot of you who came into this room. I remember days of March coming through here from PS to the 38 school. When he was a freshman, knocking on the doors, saying, let's say if Buddha ain't acting right, and I need Buddha to make sure he gets them 45 credits, and right now he needs to pass English. I remember going to Wright's house, and they were like, put that downstairs. But that's the vice principal. Mr. Gadsden downstairs. Well, what are you doing here? Well, he just wanted to make sure that he graduates on time and make sure he's doing it big. Look at DeAndre right beside that door. I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's the stuff that we made of. We made it that tough stuff right about now. We made it that stuff that says, when you doubt me, don't do it, because I'm going to show you what I'm really and truly made of. We did it that stuff that basically says, I'm going to be a success in this world, and you can't stop it. That's what I like about this class. This class has showed me that you can start off rough, but now it's time to finish off strong. And that's why I'm so proud of you. I appreciate every last effort that you put in. I appreciate it. I tried to be in everything. I tried to be in every game. I tried to be in every function. I tried to be in every way that you would act, because of the fact that I recognize the greatness that was always in you. That's why I love you. That's why I'm praying for you. I pray that you have a great summer. I pray that you stay out of trouble. I pray that you do everything possible to be great in life. And you have my forever support and doing that. Thank you.
All right, Chris, one thing I really appreciate about you the most is not only are you a great as an administrator and as an educator, but what I appreciate that you don't forget what it means to be a kid.
No, because I am them. So, I can just remember clearly being at Snyder High School, wanting guidance, wanting that type of leadership inside of my life. And I had great educators, but I just wanted to be that different type of educator. So one of the things about me is that I never forget how I came up, where I came up from, and just making sure that I'm very cognitive that those kids are me. Those parents that I grew up with, they're sending their kids to school now. So I got to make sure that their education experience is probably even better than the ones that we had.
That's true. You know, because let me tell you one thing about Gadsden. I'm gonna put the chicken around there too. Let me tell you about Gadsden. Gadsden will get in a dance battle with a kid.
For sure.
He'll rap.
Sure.
Like, and you were just on, like, what did you guys just do recently? You were actually on like a was that on BET?
No, that's the kid. No, see, a lot of people think that.
Okay.
Because one of the brothers who did it, his name is Pressure Online.
Okay.
The concept came with Ibn Shakur.
Okay.
In the summertime, we just basically said that we were going to, just as men, just come out, whatever, and spread conscious and positive vibes. And we're going to do it through hip hop.
Jersey City has changed, overpriced for those who remain. Now who's to blame because I can't sustain? Pockets all empty and I feel this pain. Red line equals economic flatline, and City Hall won't throw me a lifeline. Policies got my people all contained. Hasidity folks laugh like it's a game. The capitalists with their grins on their face, and people of color, we're all displaced. I'm speaking for the people in the gutter, educated activists trying to make your life better. The downtrodden, people rooting for the underdog. We're on our come up, call us boss hog. And I want it all, you want my downfall. Naysayers, forget all of y'all. Yo, your intentions are impure. Therefore I stand up and go to war. These people don't respect us. Dollar bills got their morals all messed up. So we rise up and take care of business. Become the principal and take care of the children. Tell them how they supposed to make a living. Tell them get their money up so they can have it pot to pissin'. Don't walk this earth without no vision. Eyes on the prize like our ancestors have envisioned. The royal men got them qualities within me. Honorable, got integrity within me. Yo, you better judge them by their fruits. Sour grapes make sour juice. I'm getting tired of the violence and the killing. Dreams are not fulfilled because my people aren't living or in prison.
People, kids are sharing it, people all over, and they just like, and the crazy thing is that kids are actually coming and talking about the bars. Like, they're like, you know, Mr. Gadsden, these people don't respect us. Dollar bills got their morals all messed up, right? They're actually quoting the lyrics.
The lyrics,
you know?
yeah.
So that was fun.
Now, so you work hard in the school system. You also do the outside mentorship program. What else are you involved in besides the mentorship program?
Oh, I mean, recently I was councilman in Jersey City. I'm just a part of a lot of civic associations. I'm on the executive board at NAACP, National Action Network.
Wow.
So whatever has to be done inside the community, I want to be a part of that solution.
And that's what it is too. So what we're gonna do now is, Chris. So before we turn it over, we're gonna poke some holes in it. All right.
Oh.
The reason why is when we flip it around, the heat from the pan will cause steam to come into the middle parts of the chicken and make it cook more too.
Okay. Let's do this to this part of the bird. Put some holes in that bird. All right, here we go.
All right, so now we're gonna flip it.
Turn it over. Oh, let me hold it. Hold that
Go ahead, Chef. My bad. Let me back up, Chef.
No, let me just hold the thing for a minute. You just saying, you just giving it enough.
Look at that color in there too.
Oh, that color look nice.
All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take it out for a second, and I'm gonna make my curry sauce and put it right back inside of there.
Oh,
now we got the color.
On the same side.
Yeah, same side.
Yeah, because I ain't cook it all over.
No, that's our presentation side. So we're gonna take it here now. We're gonna add our garlic butter. Add one more in there.
There's two?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta remember this.
All right, there we go. You're gonna whisk it around.
Oh, you're gonna cream it up.
So normally you use flour to make a roux. Flour and butter equals a roux. A roux is a natural thickener, which makes sauces thicker. All right, so we're gonna do that curry powder instead of that.
Oh, that thing smells nice, bro.
Oh, it's a garlic butter. It's full of herbs and garlic as well too.
Oh man, you gotta put this smell up to the camera. You gotta do something with this.
So you all the sides in there too.
Oh, that's special.
It smells really good. You smell the aromatics, and now we're gonna just add some fresh thyme to it as well too.
Hey, Pedal, you need to do this.
That's what. All right, so talking about family,
Pedal, you gotta do this. Oh my gosh.
All right, so not only is Chris involved in all this stuff, he's also a family man. You know, how long have you and your wife Pedal been married?
Oh gosh. Put me on the spot. We've been married going on. This year has been 18 years.
Wow.
18 years. Going on 19 next year. So yeah, 18 years. I've been with her. This is going on our 20th year.
Okay.
And being together. this year will be actually 20 years of us knowing each other.
Wow.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's cool. So like, even just speaking of that too, I think what's a great thing too is you don't see a lot of black married couples. You know, well, not that you don't see them, they're not always publicized.
Exactly.
I will say that, and I think that you guys have an amazing relationship. Just from the outside looking in, you know, you guys work as a team. Question: how did you know Petal was the one?
Oh, how did I know she was the one?
Yes.
Well, first you got to look at her, and then then when you look at her, you're like, whoa. But then I knew she was the one because, like, when we first met, we took time to really dig deep. Like, a lot of time, because I was about like 24, 25 at the time, and I really didn't have too much time for superficial like relationship. So I didn't really want to be just dating or whatever, because I already been there, done that. And so I told her, I said, and this was like around the time, like about 3 years in my walk with God, and I really didn't want to spend too much time. But so I said, listen, we gonna get right to the point, get serious. We devoted ourselves through prayer and fasting. We just said, like, just empty out as much baggage as possible so that we won't have to get caught up in just all that stuff. And we just laid it out there. And you know, that was the most, Petal and our relationship is the most authentic and real relationship that anyone could really have. And so we made it so, like, we made it that way on purpose, like from the beginning. Because sometimes you get tired of the superficial stuff in life. So, I mean, who wants that?
So, question. So now, and that's a good point you bring up, the whole part about being a young Christian and really kind of seeking that out. So, how important is adding God and a spiritual power into your relationship?
Well, it's huge because for me, like, before coming to God, you know, I didn't have too much structure. But with God, like, letting them know whatever my responsibility as a man and responsibility as a husband and father and everything, like, that adds the structure to it. Like, it's not just a regular relationship; it's a relationship that's eternal. It's solidified because it has the principles of God all leading it. You know, so that's why that is so important. The structure. All
right, so we're gonna give us a little taste over here. And we'll get back to that conversation. That's a good conversation. I won't leave that one. So we're gonna try a curry sauce.
So you think I can say some things without burning my mouth?
Yeah.
What the?
So we gotta add. So now you taste the curry. Now we're gonna add the chicken back to it as it cooks. It's strong. It tastes just like curry. So what we're gonna do is add the chicken. The chicken fat is gonna kind of balance it all out. All right. That's cool. And then gonna put the sauce on top.
The sauce on top?
Yeah, like with this.
Oh, you gonna spread some? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Come on, chef.
Oh, okay. You gonna spread the thing? Okay. How do you tell that it's cooked all the way through?
All right. So a couple different ways. Remember, we were searing it on one side. We poked the holes inside of there.
Yes.
When we flipped it, we allowed the steam from the bottom of the pan to cook inside the chicken. And what I did was I made sure you put the biggest chicken in the middle because the heat is always hotter in the middle.
Pretty much.
So this chicken is done, ready to go. We cooked it in the oven for about like 15 minutes. And we're gonna put the sauce on. This is called basting.
Yes.
You're just putting the liquid back on top. No, I'm sorry, chef. Let me take your job, chef. My bad, chef.
I mean, you the expert.
Well, it's hot. It came out the oven, Chris.
Mother.
Here you go. So now, if you were to give your younger self advice, what would that advice be? If you can give some tips, it don't gotta be one thing, but what's some advice you would give your younger self?
It's kind of tough, but reflecting on where I'm at right now and just relating that to my younger self, I would tell my younger self to believe in yourself a little bit more, trust people,
Wow,
a little bit more, because there are more people that's out there for you than actually against you. Because I had like a little shell up when I was younger. With a lot of things, just believe in yourself. Mistakes are okay. Just learn from them. Be patient. Don't try to rush do things because things happen in its own season. So I would just encourage them, to stay strong and don't break. Because there was a breaking point in my life, but that breaking point gonna make you better. So I would just encourage them to do that, and I would encourage them to read more, study. Because I wasn't the best student back then, even though I'm a principal now.
But that's an interesting point too, because my mom always made me read because she worked in the library. But it's like, how do you encourage students like that? Because it's like, you relate to them, but how do you really kind of reach kids like that?
Sometimes they, they got to come into it on their own too.
That's true.
Like, and because I had so many things I had to overcome, as far as like speech impediments and just low self-image and everything else. It took me a while to realize that that I'm actually smart. Yeah. Like I'm actually intelligent, because that's that low self, right? So.
And I think too, sometimes because it's not the way we call intelligence, you don't always see it as much, Yeah,
but sometimes like it took me a while because people had to validate. Like you actually have to have people in your life to sometimes come and say that you are. Like I remember one authentic conversation I had with my grandmother, and she said, and she looked at me square in my face, and I remember sitting across the table with her, and she's like, "Chris, you are so beautiful." And that was really the first time where somebody actually said that I was like actually like a beautiful person. Like you're gonna be so smart, you're gonna do this, that, and the third, and I'm just like, but I'm the retard, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm the dumb person and stuff, but that conversation struck a chord with me, because it was like, somebody actually believes. And I just kept going to her to keep hearing that same, because sometimes you gotta go to the same people to hear that same frequency.
That's true. That's true.
Be like, tell me who I am doing while I'm in college. And she basically was like, I'm so proud of you. You're going to school and in college, and you're about to graduate. And then, she passed away a year before I graduated. So, some things you want to dedicate to people, and you just want to make sure that they know that every last bit of word and everything that they said to you, like it worked. You know what I'm saying? So,
And it makes sense too, because you always have those kids that always come to you. Oh. And it's the reason why is because you give them the validation that nobody else does. And I think too,
important.
I think one thing I learned from Lincoln High School teachers, just hands down, especially grow up in Lincoln, because I'm still cool with a lot of these teachers and these retirees, was when they validated you, they told you, all right, you wrong, bro. Some was a little aggressive with hand motions. They probably could have got locked up for some hand motions hitting like that. That's a couple of it. I got some Braswell, Miss Marsh, Miss Lewis. But it's like they care.
Sure.
And it's like even to this day, like I can still call them and really get that whole that encouragement. Yeah. Well, I know they're gonna tell it like it is. Yeah. But at the end of the day too is like I know they're an honest source. In education, I think that's what really drew me to education, to really change these lives, because even though I was off for like 10 months, I'm like, I really miss teaching. Yeah. Because I'm missing that impact, that daily impact to really help kids grow to be the best that they could be, Yeah,
and I just want to just constantly tell folks that I love them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because nowadays inside our neighborhood, like a lot of kids are not told that, you're the bomb. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're so dope. Yeah. Like, I love y'all, right? Now I love you, but you the dumbest, whatever. You make the dumbest decisions, whatever. In your world. Like they need to have those moments where it's like true. Somebody's keeping it real with them, and they shelter and is pouring, affection on them. And then it's taking me to come out my comfort zone because I'm not raised whatever like that.
That's true.
That affection,
that's true.
Whatever. So being in this position, you got to almost sometimes compel yourself to go out there and force yourself to be the thing that they need at that particular moment in their life. You got to
sometimes it's time consuming, but it's like, but it's just like, who am I doing this for? Even too, and honestly, I always credit Ms. Marsh for this, because there was no more room in Lincoln High School for me to do the culinary program. But I wanted Ms. Marsh, ever since I said, Ms. Marsh, can you just let me to the program? And she had 100 and something kids, but she said, all right, I'll make room for you. But at the end of the day, too, is like, if she would have never did that, I would have really never had, I think, the encouragement from my teachers. Wow. Sometimes when you are overworked, because education, you are overworked, but the job goes beyond you. Wow. If she would have never given her and Jamie Morales.
Oh, yeah,
so that's how I got into culinary that day that, he brought me up there and said, this kid really want to be a part of your class. Can we make any little room for him? Wow. And that was that set this tone for the rest of my life.
Wow, that's pretty dope.
And it's like, what's Miss Morales, Miss Marsh really accepted me, and really, and that also created a feeling of acceptance too. So it's like, wow, like, they thought about me to even let me into the program. Wow. And I started to actually kind of be like one of the star students, but because somebody believed in me. And that makes a big difference. That's why these programs with CTE and performing arts are so important to kids.
Huge, bro. It's huge. Big shout out, whatever, to the Lincoln High School culinary.
Yes.
CTE, cosmetology, the programs that kids need.
They make it run.
Give them a career, give them another pathway. So
it's so many. All right, so guys, so now we're gonna actually make our steamed broccoli. All right. Okay. So a couple things we're gonna add in there is we're gonna add water, and we're gonna add you can add chicken base, or you can use a vegetable bouillon. So it's like the the ooze noodles packet.
Sure.
All right, so the little flavor packet in there.
Everybody know ramen.
Yeah, the flashback.
Some ramens.
At my school, I had told the kids about oozing noodles. So that was in my urban school. When I went to this school, I said, I said, wait, cup of noodle. They said, oh yeah, we know that.
No. When we was coming up, cup of noodles was exotic. Ramens with the packet you had to open up. That is different.
So basically, this is the same type of flavor packet. So we're gonna add that to the pot, and then we're gonna add some water to it. All right.
How much?
Just enough to cover the bottom of it.
Okay.
Where the broccoli is basically touching it. So in addition to that, we're gonna add some all-purpose seasoning to it.
Of course. Flavored vegetables.
All right, so Gadsden, so you're the father to 3 beautiful young ladies.
Yes, they are.
They're your pride and joy. Mm-hmm. All right, so I know one is a baker at heart too, so she's chefing it up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So as a dad, what are some key lessons that you're teaching your daughters now that you'll hope they'll use in the long run?
I mean, I hope and pray, that they become leaders, that they actually want to help people, that they just want to be like better people. Our job is to try to make sure that they are able to sustain themselves and to do what just more than what we've done, right? So, I mean, that's our hope, man. They're beautiful, they're talented, they're gifted, but our goal, Pedro and I, is just make sure we have like great citizens, like great people who are going to give back, And so that's why we work so hard to show them an example, and hopefully that rubs off, on them. I mean, that's what we hope, because what my daughters, I'm trying to break cycles. I'm trying to break generational, people call it curses and things like that. So I don't want them to grow up ever to be impoverished.
Wow.
I don't want them to know suffering like the way that we had it, when we was coming up. So I just want to be that type of example, and I want them to benefit from it. So that's the goal. I mean, like, you hope they listen, you hope they take heed, but I mean, that's what we ultimately want.
And I think that's the amazing part about it too is, because the Bible talks about how great is peace to our children, for they're taught of the Lord. And I know one thing my mom used to tell me, I had a problem with speeding. So I used to speed all the time, but I was her insurance. So Barbara wasn't having that. She listen, you about to get off my insurance.
Sure, no.
But when I was going back and forth to Rhode Island, I would be tired from going to just working the jobs and going to school.
Yeah.
So my mom started doing tours me, because she said, listen, you're going to have to get this together.
Yeah.
So she said, listen, every time she saw me, we had prayer all the time. My mom, she listen, when it came to prayer, we prayed in the morning, we prayed over the food, we prayed during the day, we prayed, and that's how my mom really raised us about it. And she didn't church us so much, but she really instilled what God was to us. So as I got older, when she would pray about it, she said, you know what? I thank God that, you pay attention to the roads, all this. And I'm like, oh, God, come on. She got to go to this long prayer if I'm going to go at the school. But what happened is eventually, I really stopped speeding.
Yeah.
And it's just that my mom used those scriptures. And I think sometimes, too, with certain parents, it's just like, don't give up on your kids.
That's the goal, because I seen you and your sister and everybody else growing up, it worked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're a good dude. You understand prayer, like the prayers of your moms and everyone else that came before her.
Yeah.
Because your mom had to get prayer on her too.
Yes.
It's generational.
Yeah.
Right. So it's working. Right. So that's the thing that we actually want, man. And I want my children to do that, because we want legacy. We want inheritance. We want all that stuff. We want the blessings to follow them from one generation to the next generation. And that's happening in your life, and I just pray that my children do the same thing, whatever, what Miss Barbara has done in your life.
Yeah, she didn't play with us.
No,
Barbara didn't play with us. That's what.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't play with us. Now, so how do you balance work life with home life?
Well, you gotta have priorities and things like that. Like, my career is gonna be there, right? The kids in the Jersey City and all that, that's gonna be there. But if I fail as a father, then what's the priority? I mean, why did I do all that, right?
Yeah.
So family first. God, family, and then community, right? So you gotta always have that in balance. Like, even when I'm in the public sector or doing that work, I gotta ask, permission. I gotta be like, listen, Pat, this gonna be a hindrance or burden on the household. If it is, then I'm gonna fall back, because I don't want to sacrifice the kids for any type of gain that's out there inside of the world.
And you guys really support each other. Like that's I've always realized that too. You know, you guys support each other and you guys big each other up. And I think a lot of times certain relationships you see is like a competition thing. You know, and it's just like when you're more of a team, you can get so much more accomplished.
Yeah, because Pedro had better credit. And so, so when she had the upper hand, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm the man. Nah, we work together to get things done, man. We get together, buy the house, make sure we take care of these kids, make sure we bring this money right, because we got to make sure our money good.
Yeah.
And we got to make sure we have resources.
That's true.
So we work together well.
I think that's the biggest part too. So it's funny that you say that too, because I had a conversation with somebody before. You know, I feel as that, you know, some people say the man is the head of the house, which is the biblical standard too. Yeah. But I think too, knowing when you're strong, when you're not the strongest in this area, you know what, like to balance, you know what, sometimes we may be side by side, you may be ahead in this one, or you may be ahead. So we have to learn how to balance that. So make sure that everybody is really kind of being appreciated for what they bring to the table. Yeah.
And you're the man of the house, not in a like machismo role. Like you are like all creatures of nature. Like the male, a lion would take care of the bride. You know, like the male, the head are, you know, the hierarchy, whatever, is such that we take care of things, and that's what we have to do. And if a man's not taking care of some things, then it's a weak male. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
true.
You gotta be a strong male.
That's true.
You know, and you don't have to have a certain dominance over your woman. You just have to just love her, and she loves you back, and the kids love each other, and it's a loving environment. You know?
That's true. All right, so guys, now we're gonna plate up our dish. All right, so I have these ramekins, right? So I'm gonna take some rice up in here. We're gonna make it look a little pretty.
Okay.
All right. Pat it down.
I want to do my turn.
That's not. Just get the bigger piece, Chris.
I just want this piece right here because it looks like symmetrical.
Okay, Chris. All right.
What do I do? Just place it on top?
Yeah. Pour some sauce on there too. Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, we doing the grill right here or something? Like what we doing? And what I do? I just put
Put a little sauce on there.
See,
There you go.
man, I need help with this, man. Probably have to do a take two to make it look all.
All right, so Gas, you ready to give this a try, man? And
Yes.
we got to take TV bites, Gas. We're gonna kind of low key dig in, all right?
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna take a little bit of this right here.
Okay, then, just move it over. You said.
Uh-huh.
You said just take a little piece of that thing. TV bites. I don't know about TV bites because I get it in. All right. So what we doing?
That's good.
Is this on camera?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I gotta do it.
Got a bit of rice in there too, and the broccoli.
This is nice. This is nice.
All right, so Gas, how you like it?
Look, this is delicious.
All right, so Gas, how can people reach you on social media?
Well, they can reach me, Chris Gadsden, Facebook, Chris L. Gadsden, Twitter.
We got Twitter too. Come on, come on, let them know.
That's right, C Gadsden 21 over to Instagram. So, I mean, I'm all over social media.
And what's the link for you to show you rapping?
Oh, the rapping. I mean, you gotta go on YouTube, Educator Cypher. Educator Cypher. It's called Conscious Positive Vibes. I mean, that's what it is. Positive vibes.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. It's real dope. All right, so until next time, thank you guys for watching. All right, it's time to dig in. All right, Chris already digging. We gotta just finish. It's a wrap. All right, see you next time.
Thank you.